So the last speaker of today is Sarah Fricoteaux, who is instructor specialized in horse behavior and horse training with psychology. She will present what a happy horse athlete looks like and what are we looking for in performance training. Sarah.
The last but not least, if you are not already asleep. So the game here is to end with a more happy end, because having a happy athlete is possible. Well, we will see. And the game is to know what are we looking for in performance training. So what is a happy athlete if it works? Super. So 3 words: mindful, relaxed, able. And first I would start with mindful, because he has to know the goal. And he masters his body abilities. He is mindfully present and dares to share his emotions with his rider. The beautiful athletes, they catches your eyes when they evolve. They evolve in harmony and peacefully with their rider. They are happy to evolve in front of your eyes. When you're walking along the arenas and then you stop just to have a look and this one is just shining, you have your happy athlete. So the biggest challenges seem effortless for them. Just like this horse that is jumping everywhere and not touching, no poles at all, and it seems just he has done that for years. So what better sensation to ride a willing athlete wanting to dance the best he can with you without fear nor tension, because that's what it is. It's every time fight or fly. So do you think it's possible, and what does it look like? So what horses fear the most is being trapped. And in the human's world, traps are everywhere. It starts with a simple halter. It starts when you go to the paddock. It starts when you just cross the stables. And when you think about having the most beautiful stables, the best bit, the best saddle, the best legs, the best chaps, but actually it's not the best tools. It's how you present your tools to your horse so he doesn't feel trapped when you use them. Because the first trap that is felt by the horse is the one that is holding him at the end of the line, and that is just up on his back, riding on him, getting the legs closed, closing the hands. Everything means being trapped. So a trap means fight or fly, because that's a prey animal. So what is important for two horses? That's simple: peace, love, and harmony. So peace means being relaxed. Peace means being neutral. So no legs, no hands when the horse is doing what you want. The horses seek comfort all the time. So that's relief and release from pressure. They try harder for something and for someone they love. You can ride just poorly. A dog is getting to you. The horse is just jumping, but he manages to keep you on his back because he loves you. Or he's just coming with you. He's very fearful about a bridge or the trailer, but he follows you, by the way, because he loves you, because he trusts you. So the first key is to build connection with your horse, because if he knows the goal, then he's ready to do whatever you can ask him to do with you. Harmony is the last goal. It's a mental and emotional sensation of peace and liberty. And as soon as you have tasted it, you will forever seek it, because that's the emotions, that's the sensations. If you remember why you are here with horses, why some people stop being with horses, because they have no goals, no results anymore, they don't win the prizes. So in the end, what do they get? And that's the emotional part. If you have all started with horses one day, it's just because you were looking at them and this one just catched your eyes. So they are easily damaged physically, mentally, and/or emotionally, just because they can't find the release or they don't know the goal to reach. Because you always say, tell, you always tell, and never release, never stop, never being neutral, always micromanaging them. So the first problems professional riders come to me and ask help for is that the horses that was winning everything, suddenly they lose confidence and they lose motivation. And they lose so because they just can't find the release. So it's not a lack of training, neither a lack of podiums. It's a lack of fulfilling their mental, emotional, and physical needs. So here, they tell us everything if we care reading them. And that's from the nose to the end of the tail. They give us information that we need to learn to read. So the very first one, and I relate with the horse that wasn't putting on weight. You were just showing on your previous slides. And it's just because he's in pain, and the moment you just go on the saddle and the horse is just jumping everywhere, it's not a behavioral problem, it's pain problem. And then you have correct behaviors, but tension, opening the mouth, nodding, pulling on the reins, and that's only fight or fly. So if we know about performance sport means pressure. And the goal is how to deal with pressure. And we have to teach our horses this emotional and mindful learnings to deal with pressure. So you have to get them engaged mentally, to get them mindful and having a thinking athlete. So 3 core elements for a mindful athlete: having the connection with you. With no connection, there is no point carrying on, because the horse is not with you, he's thinking about everything else. You're just thinking about control, and avoid to die. Then comfort. As I said, it was about being neutral. So being neutral when the horse is on its way and he's starting to have his half pass, how can you start and let him follow, let him going on? They have a brain, so they are able to do so. And then a choice. So the choice is the biggest part, because without choices, you have no conversation. And here you have the choice to stay and sit, or you have the choice to leave, but you won't have all this information. So if performance means pressure, so what about the training? And this part is not taught to riders, and especially the youth in the teams, because they think that to be good and to perform at the highest level, they have to perform during each training, or learning is hard. That's the hardest point. When you learn something, you feel just like you're an idiot. You don't know your right, your left, and your trainer is telling you to do things, but you're unable because your brain is already engaged into something, and you just can't think. But instead of struggling and becoming upset with this state, just tell yourself, great, I suppose I'm learning something. So it should be so short and simple. Then there is the stage about practicing. Practicing takes repetition. It should be a little boring, so the horse shouldn't know he's trained. He shouldn't know when you practice, there is no sweat, and it's only step after step. And in one month, just imagine the progress you have done, just because the mental and the emotions were engaged with you, with the same goal. And last, performing. Performing will always be pressure. When I'm talking in front of you, that's performance. I've practiced before. I learned to talk years ago. And then performing, it's just presenting your best about things you have learned and you have practiced. So we need to teach the horses how to deal with pressure, because everything change the environment of competitions always change. There is always something you won't be able to train before. This flag, these judges, these flowers, this dog, these children with the bike. I wasn't trained to, and I couldn't see there will be all those things coming to my competitions. The only thing that is constant is you. So if you create the bond and create this partnership with your horse, then if you are the constant people, then your horse will be with you and happy to perform things with you. So don't train with tension, aim for relaxation. Even in high-level sport, we seek readiness and toned muscles for effort and performance. For every athlete, either you are a dog, a human, when you go running, you don't have a happy face because you are doing some effort, but you are mentally and emotionally engaged because you know what you will get with your running. That's exactly the same thing, be ready, but not at any price. So every training should aim for a relaxed mental, emotional state. And readiness and tone shouldn't be confused with tension, excitement, and breathy movements. Only mental relaxation within tone muscles will bring confidence and power to your athletes and reduce injuries. No more colics, because you are trained for that. So they tell us everything, if we care reading then. But we have to learn every part. And the riders today don't know the difference between practicing and performing. So here, oh, that's a video. Maybe if you can click. So they are the highest level riders at the moment. And trainers also, whether they compete or not. But they are supposed to practice. So the horse should be relaxed. So they don't do nothing bad, technically. They are at the highest level for the technique. But if we look at the horse, look at the tempo, at the rhythm, what should be the most relaxed and, in the same time, toned muscles within the movements we see? So this one is not that bad, because that's relaxed. We have the balance point. That's a bit behind the vertical, but the teeth are locked. The mouth is too tight. So just a little thing to do with the hands, maybe, to show the horse that it's not a trap. Even here, what do we want to see? Longer neck. So we would like to have less tension in everything we do with horses. And of course, we are never 100% without tension because of the fact that it's a prey animal. But a happy athlete can show soft ears, concentrated nose, they go on the same line as the rider, they have soft eyes because they know the goal, they know to this line, I can then have my transition, then I have my piaffe, then I have my shoulders in and so on, or my jumps or eventing. Look at the nose and the nostrils without striates, the lips on the same line, the mouth shouldn't be frothing all the time. Frothing means they are getting emotionals. What about the tail? What about the tempo, the breathing, the sweat, the whistles? Are they able to lift up? The neck, is it able to lengthen or to come back, but without having all the weight in your arms? And bad trainings don't depend on the tools. And that's a really big point because bad horsemanship is everywhere. So you can ride with a side pull, you can ride with a rope halter, you can ride with only a neck string or only with a whip, and you end with a low, deep round. Just because horses constantly seek release, and they quickly learn where to be and how to be to find the release. So roll current LDR can be taught, whatever your tools are, and you are responsible for that. So if it's possible to do otherwise, and it already exists, why don't we see that more? So first, it's not known enough because it's not taught enough. And the big point, kill the ego, of course. It takes time, it's not magical, but when you have the good keys, it can be really quick and efficient, especially concerning connection. Because techniques take really big time to build your physical athlete, but the mental and emotional athlete, you can have it really quickly with you. Of course, money stakes, challenges, and pressure applied on the riders. So educate, spread the information, because the good trainings are already there, but it's up to people to seek them. And we can't blame people who don't know yet. We only can inform, educate, and show them that better ways of training already exist. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I think we have for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I will just ask, thank you very much, Sarah. Super.